Welcome back to Ask Dad. On today's video, we're talking about how to budget using Excel, kind of an old school method. There's all sorts of apps and other ways that you can do budgeting now. But for today's video, because it's a simple method and because it's very easy to explain, we're going to target Excel. Jumping right in, here's a spreadsheet that I have used in the past, and it's very basic. It does have some calculations built in. And the way it's built is to allow us to come in on these panes right here. You put in the due date of your bills and you put whoever the payee is, whoever you're paying the bill to. And then throughout the year, this goes for one calendar year, you can put in your anticipated budget, your projected, and then you can follow up with your actual budget. What this does is it allows you to plan in advance. You can look at your month ahead and say, well, this is what I expect my bills to be. And then you can true it up at the end of the month to see if you saved some money or if you went over budget, and you can adjust your bills accordingly. So without too much further ado, let's just walk through some of the items. Obviously the average American is going to have either rent or mortgage. Some people will have homeowners association dues, or they may have fees for your rental for things like amenities, pool, spa, whatever it may be that's attached to your apartment complex. Some people will have school or club fees. Credit cards, of course, are a major part of American life right now, so I've got a couple of those built in here. Water, internet, trash, auto insurance, health insurance for those who are self-employed or don't have it from their work, power and gas. This would be your electricity and natural gas for your apartment or your home, life insurance, cell phone, groceries, gas for your car payments if you have those, and then building in a cushion is something that really helps people throughout their lives. If you're able to build up a 2 or 3 month cushion by putting just a little bit towards your cushion every month, that allows you to have a break if you lose a job or if an unexpected bill comes up or whatever it may be. On that front, sometimes we'll have medical bills we know are coming up. We may have like a dental copay or a medical copay that we have to make. And we know we've got an appointment 6 months down the road, so we can put some money towards that. We have home alarms in some cases. Of course, everyone has a little Amazon habit, or a lot of people do, that you may want to have that spent. And building in a little bit of discretionary income is not a bad idea. Something that you know, hey, this month my spouse and I will have $200 a month that we can spend however we want. That's not a bad idea. And then all of that tallies up to a subtotal here. And then your income needs to be your net income. A lot of people will think, well, hey, I make $50, $60, $100,000 a year, but taxes come out of that, of course. And if you have 401k savings pulled out of that, that is one thing. You may have insurance taken out of that. So you want to put your net number there, your actual number that you'll get to take home. And then what you can do is you can look at these and say, okay, this is my projected expenses. This is my income. Do I have any money left? And what I've done is I've put in just some general numbers here. So for example, rent, I used a website that talks about the average rent. I just did a quick Google search and used the Rent Cafe number of what actually this was a AI analysis from Google that talks about the average rent from the average American person pays $1,536 a month in rent. That can go up, that can go down. I did the same thing for groceries. I did the same thing for utility bills. And the reason I wanted to do this is this gives a general average. The reason that you will want to do this is to find out if your number is average, lower, or higher. If you find out that you're paying $2,000 a month in rent and the average person is paying $1,000 a month, and you're having trouble meeting your goal, your budget numbers by the end of the month, it may be time to look for a new apartment, even if it's not quite as posh as you may be living. If you're finding that your other fees in here, maybe your home and your health insurance or your power gas is higher than what it should be, you can look at other options. Power and gas, that may be a little bit more difficult, but internet, cell phone, things like that, you can absolutely shop around and find better deals. Groceries, things along those lines, the gas expenditures, if you're able to save money every month, then that's money that can be allocated towards other bills. So walking through this from a high level in this particular situation, let's say the rent number is $1,536 a month. You're probably going to have that be your actual number, so that'd be $1,536. If you do not have HOA dues, obviously that goes away. If you do and it's higher or lower, then you may not need to do it. In this model, it's planning a 3-month HOA pay and then paused for the rest of the year with one more pay at the end of the year. Some HOAs are intermittent. They may be every 3 months, they may be every 6 months. So you would only put this in as frequently as it is. You may find that the school and club bills you end up paying $75 a month for this particular month. and then the next month they're zero. Tracking that is important. Credit cards, if you are using this model or a budgeting model of some sort, you should be able to get your credit cards down to zero by just paying off the other bills. If you need to put a plan in place to pay off existing credit card balances, that's a good model for this to have. And you want to make sure that you're paying enough that your balance goes down instead of just paying the interest. Otherwise, you're making someone else rich and you're getting broke yourself. So in this particular case, you might find that, well, we paid $125 a month for that credit card. We actually had to pay $50 a month on the second credit card that we weren't planning on using. Water is generally flexible. Some places have a fixed fee for water, others track it on usage. Let's say you only paid $75 a month for water there, and on internet you were able to, and this is something I've done frequently, call your internet company and get them to reduce the bill. Maybe your bill went down to $69 a month. Trash is going to be a pretty fixed fee, so your fixed fee there would be that. Auto insurance is something that people should be shopping around for very frequently, at least once every 12 months, because those rates go up and they go down, especially if you've had a major event. I did get a accident not terribly long ago, and my auto insurance adjusted up tremendously. It was a crazy increase after I had not had an accident for over 20 years. And by shopping around on the auto insurance, we were actually able to get the rates lower than my prior insurance, even with an accident. So make sure that you're shopping around to save yourself some money on that. But in this case, you should be able to budget your auto insurance. And let's say that's $200 a month. Health insurance is going to be a fairly fixed fee. With the Obamacare increases, health insurance has gone through the roof. If you look at a family of four, it's going to be higher than $700 a month. If you look at a family of just one or two people, you can get it down below $700 a month. But health insurance is something that you should be tracking. If you can get it through an employer and it's a good plan, that's usually going to be less than $700 a month. So there's a lot of variables there, but for the example here, let's just use 700. Power and gas is going to fluctuate. Some months you may be at 200, some months you may be at 70, some months you may be at 300. It just depends on where you're at and what the climate's like and if you're running air conditioning or heat. So let's just keep that static right now. Life insurance, the reason that is only several months is generally you can pay that once a year. You can also pay it on a monthly basis, but if you can pay it once a year, usually your rates are lower. So in this instance, we're budgeting for that. Cell phone plans, if you watch some of our other videos, we talk about how to save money on cell phones. So let's say you're able to reduce your plan to $70 a month. And then groceries. This is a tough one to do because obviously you want to eat and you want to splurge occasionally, but if you are able to shop around or find that maybe you're not buying a name brand, maybe you're buying a store brand, you can bring your bills in. So let's say we can get that down to $900, again, just $100 savings. Fuel for cars, wow, that's a tough one. With fuel ranging from $3 to $5 to $6 a gallon, depending on where you're at. The only way to really save money on gas is to get a fuel-efficient car, which is a major expense, or to drive less. So let's just keep that at $300 right now. If you have a car payment, obviously that's going to be in here and you'd have to put it in. Let's pause on that one for a minute. And then a cushion, I highly recommend every month you have an opportunity, putting some of that money in a savings account to build up your cushion so that if one month you have something come up or if one month your income's less for whatever reason, you're not stressed out. You're able to pull it from the cushion and then adapt going forward. So in this particular instance, just going through and tracking, making some minor adjustments, we can see, well, we anticipated $4,768. We were able to bring it at $4,450. Instead of having only $231 left at the end of the month, we've got $550. Then you have the ability to go back through and plan for the following month. You can say, okay, well, maybe we adjust the gas. Maybe we're going to take a vacation. Maybe we adjust our cushion and put it all into savings. That would not be a bad option. Maybe we pay off the credit card so that bill for the next month goes away. And if you're able to do that, you can see that your budgeted number actually comes in higher and you should be able to save additional money. So this is just a quick and easy tip to use a spreadsheet, figure out how to track your expenses, and once you know your expenses, then you're able to budget and plan accordingly. I hope this helps. If this type of video is helpful to you, please do like down below. If you'd like to see more of this type of content, please subscribe. And if you know someone who could use this type of content, please feel free to share the video. Thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next one.